All right. Ladies and gentlemen, you are welcome to another great session with the presidential candidate of the fictional Common Sense People's Party. Now, there are certain things that cannot be bought. If anything has not proved this, the 2023 election has. Now, one may be rich enough to buy INEC and its entire staff. You may be wealthy enough to bribe every member of the judiciary and get yourself declared as winner. But that feeling of genuine victory will not be there. That feeling of owning the people's mandate will be missing. And ultimately, the sensation and gratification that comes with legitimacy will be absent. And as it stands, many elders, traditional rulers, religious leaders have been contracted to beg Peter Obi to publicly congratulate TINUBU because that emptiness is still there without Obi conceding. There is a vacuum that needs to be filled, and all the dollars in this world can't fill that vacuum. Even after all they have done, TINUBU and APC members still can't tour the world with their heads held high the way a Peter Obi would. Few hours ago, Obi was at Oxford University. He was being interviewed. The man is now a global icon because the whole world knows the truth. And the exceptional thing about the interview is that Obi said he is not done, that he must dismantle the evil structure. But before I show you how he said it, let me quickly show you this video. That proves what I'm saying about a vacuum that needs to be filled. Supreme Court has declared APC winner. Yet, people like Femi Falana are still talking about how INEC messed up the election because it doesn't feel real. There is an emptiness that can never be filled. Watch this video.
Monitored, studied, understood our electoral jurisprudence. What do you make of the Supreme Court judgment, the outcome, the affirmation of Bola Tinubu's election?
Well, no doubt the judgment of the Supreme Court ascended the electoral contestation as far as the presidential election conducted in February this year is concerned. But for sure, it is not a judicial endorsement of the conduct of the election by INEC. And what I mean is that even with the judgment, it is very clear that Nigeria has a long way to go in terms of ensuring that credible elections are conducted, elections that will be devoid of acrimony, elections that all of us will be proud of. But we're still a long way from there, even with the judgment. I mean, again, as I said, yes, for now, the presidential election is concluded. It should have been concluded in February, but it has just been concluded by the Supreme Court. And it shouldn't be so. The judiciary should not determine the winners of election. Judges are not suited to determine the winners of election. That is a job that is exclusively reserved for INEC if things are done properly. And that is why we must put an end to the shame that has become our Lord in terms of conducting elections. Because we must all realize at all times that this country, Nigeria, is the largest concentration of Black people on earth. And we therefore have a greater responsibility to put our house in order so that Black people will not be insulted all over the world. And it doesn't take so much to conduct good elections if members of the political class are honest and dedicated to the conduct of transparent election. But that is not there.
You heard him. That is the vacuum I'm talking about. And he raised 4 key issues. He said we should be able to conduct election without acrimony, meaning the 2023 election was acrimonious. He said we should be able to conduct election that we can all be proud of, meaning Nigerians are not proud of the 2023 elections. Then he said we should have elections where things are done properly. And then he said we should stop having shameful shows as elections, meaning in the 2023 elections, things were not done properly and it was a show of shame. All these baggages go with the presidency. That is the vacuum that I'm talking about. So whenever the president appears, instead of people to see the president, what they will see is everything that INEC did wrong. All the manipulations of INEC and the judiciary is what people will see. Oh, what a sad situation. Now, let us take the interview of His Excellency Peter Obi at the Oxford University, where he said he is not done yet, but going ahead to dismantle the evil structure. Watch the interview.
State and contest for government. Up to then, I never voted. Never had anything to do with politics. I didn't know what it means to have a young marriage and telling you, simply that you're crazy. What is happening to you? She started calling everybody. Doesn't know what I did for me. Peter said he's going to the village to go and contest to be governor. Instead of investing in money, the investment we were trying to do then, that if I had invested today, I would have bought millions of dollars. I said, see this money, I'm going to put it in politics. I've stopped investing. And it was one of the most difficult things that happened in my life. But looking back now, as difficult, with all the things I've lost, I have a sense of fulfillment that at least I can say I changed this, I changed this, I changed this. And even still participating in it in Nigeria. When I was coming here today, somebody asked me, said, how do you feel about contesting election for the office of the president and what has happened in everything and what has happened? We're just beginning. We won't stop until we dismantle that crime scene. And we dismantle it. So that's basically how I feel. For me, we need to all come together and make Africa work, make Nigeria work, and make collectively the black world work.
You heard him. It's always a pleasure listening to His Excellency Peter Obi. Everything about him is so presidential, and he is on a level that every other person in the political class right now in Nigeria can only wish for. Now, still talking about the burden of legitimacy, this next video I'm going to show you is a bigger pointer to the fact that the people are far from being won by the APC. APC is the first party in power that still has to campaign to win the heart of the people. Watch this video.
That will take a lot of legislative activity, if you ask me. We need to redefine our law. We need to amend our laws.
Well, I'm just talking about the court of public opinion.
Yes, of course. Court of public
opinion.
Can't
enter it. You can't legislate into someone's
sure, of course.
Opinion
Court of public opinion, of course. That, of course, will definitely play up, with respect to legitimacy. The issue of legitimacy will still play up, will still come up at some point in Tinubu's administration. So what the Tinubu administration has to do now is to win the hearts and minds of the people. Basically, it has to get it right on all fronts. Look at the issue of the fuel subsidy removal and the economic crunch in the country right now. He has to win the hearts and mind of people. He has to hit the ground running. That has been his mantra. That has been his
but also electoral reforms and legal reforms and all that sort of thing.
Yes, the illegal reforms and the electoral reforms, those are in the long term. In the immediate term, what concerns Nigerians is the economic state of the country.
Their bellies.
Their bellies. Thank you so much. So if he can win the hearts and minds of the people, respect to quote-unquote stomach infrastructure and ensuring he gets the economy right, then perhaps people begin to say, what the whole noise about?
What's the big deal?
Yes, he is doing what our choice kind of would have done. So he's getting it right.
Absolutely.
So if he gets it right economically,
that's a very good point.
If he gets it right economically, he will win the hearts and minds of people, and then every other noise about who should have been president will automatically die down.
Now, the guy in this video clearly established the fact that the people do not want the APC. But where he didn't quite get it right was where he said if the APC can turn the economy around, people will forget whoever they preferred as president. Let me respond to this in two ways. Number one, that position is not for obedience. We want the right thing done, whether it favors us or not. Our grouse is that Professor Mahmood Yakubu did not keep to his words. He did not transmit election results from the polling unit to the IREF in real time as he promised. And the judiciary joined in that corruption. So getting it right economically cannot suddenly change our position on all that. Then secondly, getting it right economically is not even possible with the APC. Because to get it right economically, you have to, first of all, be sincere. And these people are not even close to being sincere. Their primary aim is to steal, to kill, and to destroy. Anyway, make I leave am here. Make I still enter town. Make I go get some ogbonge political news wey una go like. Why? Because of una. Now I dey here. So, don't go away.